Welcome back to my channel, my sweets. So if you're new here, please subscribe and join the sweet gang, because once you join, your life becomes sweeter, because life is sweet over here. Life is very sweet over here. So this video is how God is changing my career, how he literally has like, this is what you're doing. You're not settling anymore. This is what you're going for. So basically, I am a registered nurse right now, and I am on my way to going into medical school. I am trying to get into medical school. I'm trying to get into a pre-med post-baccalaureate medical program that will allow me to get into medical school so that I can become a surgeon, a cardiac surgeon to be exact. So it's a bit of a story, so I have to kind of like give a history on how this even came about, how I am being led into this, and yeah, so let's get into it. So basically, growing up, I always wanted to be a doctor. If you asked me what I wanted to be, that was going to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor. So, you know, you go through high school, you apply for college, you get accepted. So I got accepted. But my acceptance was literally, when I was searching for a school, I wasn't searching for a school for academics. I was searching for a school for an escape, to be in all honesty. I literally wanted to get away, and I wanted to go away to school for an escape because my living conditions were a little bit stressful. So that's not the point of this video. It was just the point of it is just telling my story on how God is changing my career. So yeah, my living conditions were a little stressful. So when I was going to college, it was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to just be free, basically. So that's basically what I was doing when I was applying for school. So I was looking up different colleges, you know, all HBCUs, because I wanted to go to a historically black college and university. So I went for Cheyney University, which is the first HBCU. I don't hear what anybody says, Lincoln University, all of that other nonsense. No, Cheyney University is the first HBCU. So I went to a HBCU, Cheyney University. And when I got there, I literally majored in partying, because that's what I did. I partied. Freshman year, I partied. Sophomore year, I partied. And that's when I kind of buckled down in my sophomore year, because that's when I started to see my grades. And I was like, what is this? Prior to college, my grades were decent. Like, I was a very studious student. I would do my homework. My parents never had a problem with me in that area of, you know, doing my homework or anything. Hence why they never asked me they never seen my grades in college. They didn't ask because they knew that they never had to ask or be on top of me in my grades. So they never, actually to this day, they never seen my report card from college. So anyway, I majored in partying. My grades weren't the best going throughout Cheyney University. They were not the best. So when leaving, I graduated in 2009 with a biology degree, pre-med in 2009. And I didn't have the confidence after that, because, you know, right after that, you're supposed to like take your MCATs and you start applying for med school. I didn't have the confidence because, one, my grades weren't they weren't up to par. And I just didn't feel like I was gonna get in. So I honestly just didn't think that I would get in, and I had a fear of not failing, like I wasn't gonna get in. So I didn't even apply. I don't even think I took the MCATs. I know I took my GREs, but I didn't take the MCATs. So I never applied to medical school because I feared I would not get in. So I started going all around the merry-go-round. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a dentist. Oh, I'm gonna be a vet. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. So And even thinking about going into dentistry and being a vet, I still didn't have the confidence I thought I would have to get into that again. Wow. So I didn't think I would have the confidence. So basically, if I knew what I knew now about how God moves in my life and how God moves in anybody's life who believes in him and is submitted to him, I would have still applied anyway. But we're gonna get to that because this is where I'm at in my life now. So because of fear, I was going back and forth, like I said, with the dental school, veterinary school, and nursing, and veterinary school to nursing school. So that's what made me say, you know what, I'm gonna be a nurse. After I canceled the idea of me getting into anybody's medical school, whether it be dental, vet, regular medical school, I just said, you know, I'm gonna go be a nurse. So I pursued nursing. I applied to get into the fast track nursing program, where if you already have a bachelor's degree, you can become an RN in 1 year. I didn't get in. I applied to several. I don't remember the names of them, but I applied to several of them. I researched CRNA, so I wanted to be a CRNA. If anyone doesn't know what a CRNA is, it's a certified registered nurse anesthetist. Basically, you're an anesthesiologist, but in a nursing aspect. Yeah. So I looked up schools. There was this one specific school. I remember it was the University of Pennsylvania. My mother and I drove all the way out there. I applied. I went to their orientation. This school actually had a fast track program where if you had already a degree, it was a fast track for 1 year, and then after the 1 year, you do the 3 years and you get your doctorates in the CRNA program. I applied to that, didn't get in. I also applied to some other school, I can't remember, alongside of University of Pennsylvania, but I didn't get in either. So I went to Lehman College to apply for their nursing program, and the head of the department, she looked at my transcript, and she was basically like, you're never gonna be a nurse? I said, I'm never gonna be a nurse. Now I know my grades was bad, ma'am, but the fact that she told me that I was never going to be a nurse, I was like, first of all, I was hurt. I was very hurt. I was like, what? I'm never gonna be a nurse? Like, there's no way that you're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm never gonna be a nurse. Like this, like, what? So that hurt me. I was very disappointed. I was hurt. I literally went home and I cried. I cried. And I remember this point in my life, I was living in a room and I sat on that bed of mine and I just cried. I said, and that's when I literally, this was during the time of when my relationship with God had started. And this was back in like 2011, around that time, because I graduated Cheney in 2009 with my pre-med degree. So 2010 was during 2009, I graduated. 2010, I started applying to different schools. In nursing, I realized that I wasn't going to med school. I'm going to do nursing. So 2010, I started applying to different schools. I didn't get in. So that time after Lehman College, when she said, oh, you're never going to be a nurse, I came home, I cried, I prayed. I said, Lord, like, what am I to do? Like, what am I going to do? Like, I just went through 4 years of school, and what am I doing? So I got on my laptop that I had at the time, and I was just like researching like nursing programs, and this program popped up where it was a Center for Allied the Center for Allied Health Sciences and Nursing, something like that. I can't remember. I'm really bad with names. So I remember I was probably like 24 at the time, went home, cried, and asked God to help me because I was lost in what to do. Went on my computer, found this nursing program, which was an LPN program, which is a licensed practical nurse. I applied, I got in. Soon as it was like the time of when this happened was the right time for me to apply, to get in, to start the program, because not everybody, because admissions is only certain times of the year with certain schools, and this was one of the schools that had admissions only in August. So it was like, I got on the computer, I applied, called the next day, applied, got in, did the test, whatever, I got in. But it was so seamless. It was like, boop, 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 boop. And I remember saying to myself, I said, this had to be God, because there's no way that this just was doop, 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 and I was in. So I knew this had to be God because of how easy it was for me to get in. So that was 2011 to 2013 when I graduated my LPN certification degree. It's not a degree, but it's a certification, I guess. So, if I'm gonna be transparent, I was not very happy with the fact that I had to start as an LPN to get to work my way up to become an RN. I was just like, because once you, like, even though I wasn't like being the most studious student, I still worked hard. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Pre-med is hard. You're taking calculus, you're taking physics, you're taking organic chemistry 1 and 2, microbiology, ichthyology, so many different things. Anatomy 1 and 2. You're taking so many classes. So I still worked hard to get out of there to graduate. Just that my grades weren't as good as where it needed to be in a competitive stance to go to med school, in my opinion. So, me not being able to get into a RN program with a degree confirmed to me that the time that I was never going to get into medical school. So, I'm just reading my notes. So basically what I'm saying is like, because I wasn't able to get into a nursing school, it confirmed my change in direction from medical school to nursing school. Because it was like, if somebody's telling me that I'm not going to become a nurse with the grades that I have now, how is this possible that I was even going to get into medical school? It doesn't make sense. So I was like, okay, so I have to be on the right track to be doing this nursing. So yes, I told you that I graduated in 2013 with my from the LPN school. So I started to work. I immediately started working because I think at the time I was working in medical records or something, and I needed the money. I told you I was living in a room. I needed to get out of this situation that I was in. So I started to work right away. I took the boards ASAP. I had no time to waste. It was like, get out of here, because I needed to get out of the situation I was in. So in 2013, I found this other program where it wasn't a fast track program, but it was an LPN to BSN program, and it was through Indiana State University. So I applied. A lot of my prerequisites from from my pre-med degree switched over to this program, which then allowed me not to have to, I didn't have to take the prerequisites, but I still had to do the nursing classes. Received acceptance to that, was very happy. That was strictly online. That was one of the hardest things ever, because it was literally online. There's no type of help. It was horrible. I'm not saying the program is horrible. The program is good. It was just bad for me because I'm an in-person student, where I need to raise my hand. I need to ask questions. I need to engage with the teacher. For me, the online, asking questions, emailing the teacher, then you gotta wait for them to respond for a date. It's not for me. It's not for me. And I didn't think if I have to do it, I have to do it. But at that time, it was bad. So from there, I graduated from that program in 2017, and I went on to become. I was an RN. I was a graduated BSN RN at that time. I graduated in 2017. So from there, I went straight to the burn ICU because I I still had in my mind that I wanted to be a CRNA. This is what I wanted to do. Even though I didn't apply, I didn't get into the first program, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go through the steps, LPN to BSN, go to the ICU, I'm gonna be a CRNA. So I went to the burn ICU, and I was grateful to literally just graduate and then go straight into the ICU. That's a blessing. I was grateful for that. I went into travel nursing in the midst of me going into the burn ICU. That's when COVID happened. That was like 2020 now. Yes, so I graduated in 2017. I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018. I can't remember, but was I? Yes, I was. It was either 2017. It was December 2017. So it was literally the next month was 2018, and I was doing home care. And then I got into the burn ICU. Yes, because 2018, 19, that was, I may have my years messed up, but just know I graduated. I'm not good with years either. I graduated and I worked in home care, and then I went into the burn ICU in 2020 during COVID, and that was like my training in the ICU was COVID. So then I went into travel nursing. So it was a blessing that I was able to go into the ICU without any ICU experience. And one of the prerequisites to become a CRNA and to get into a CRNA school is to have the 2 to 3 year experience in the ICU. So being in the burn ICU was a blessing because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a CRNA. So another requirement is to have the CCRN. So the CCRN is a certified certified registered critical care registered nurse. So basically you have a certification in critical care. So that was something that I need to start to work on. I need to get the book, which I have the book all over there. They're looking at me right now. Get the book, start studying. Okay. This is when I started. Now, I didn't start to notice something was wrong, but this was, I couldn't study to save my life. Like, I would sit down and try to study, and I'm like, why can't I study? I could not study to save my life. It was like I was going through a very hard time to study. And on top of that, I was going through other things that were just like causing me not to focus because the things that I was going through. I would schedule my exam and then I would cancel. I would schedule my exam, then I would cancel or reschedule. It was horrible. So I'm about to, after this video, I'm gonna make another. So during this time of my initial scheduling of my test is when God basically revealed to me who my husband is. When I tell you I could not focus, I could not concentrate, it was bugged. It was bugged out. So I couldn't concentrate. And then after that, it was other things. It was this video is not for that. So anyway, I was on a roller coaster of emotions. So I just could not focus. I couldn't focus. I literally probably rescheduled 3 or 4 times. Literally 3 or 4 times. So around this time, after rescheduling 3 or 4 times, I don't know if I told you in one of these videos that one of my good friends, she can prophesy. So she's one of God's prophets. So I was getting prophesied to that I wasn't going to school in 2023. So this was 2022 when all of this was happening. And And then I was being prophesied to that you're not going to school in 2023. So from the time God told me who my husband was, in between the time of when he told me that I wasn't going to school, I was going through a very, very hard process with the Lord. One day I will make a video about it, but I cannot, because I can't speak about certain things yet, because they have I can't, not yet. So that was just, honestly, it was like, now this, like, I'm not going to school in 2023. So that was like, wow, okay. So I think that was around March of 2023 when he told me that I wasn't going to CRNA school in 2023. So I was so disappointed. So it was prophesied to me that basically that this was the best thing for my future. Like when I get married, when I have children, like, you know, I didn't understand it, but I just know to trust God in what he's saying. Like, I didn't understand what that means. I don't know the future, so God does. So I trusted him in what he was saying. So I remember sitting in the ShopRite. I was sitting in the ShopRite parking lot, and I was about to get out. And then, you know how on your phone the email banner drops down. So the banner dropped down, and it says, it was like a deadline email, basically stating like, you know, hurry up and get your application in, because the period for your applications to be sent in or is coming to a close soon. I literally because I was just told that I'm not going to school and I didn't send in my application yet. So it was a very like, oh my gosh, like, is this really happening? You know? And in that moment when I seen the email, I cringed. So I immediately called my friend, because I needed somebody in the moment to tell me that this is going to be okay. Trusting God is the best thing, right? I needed to hear that in that moment. So I picked up the phone and I called her. She picks up. So I'm like, Nikki, listen, I'm sitting in the parking lot, girl, and I just got the message, and my voice is probably cracking because I feel like I'm about to cry, like, because this is something I've been working for since 2010, right? This is 2023, okay? So this is a long time coming. This is something that I've been striving for and working for, like, you know. So I'm like, tell me that this is gonna be okay. Tell me that this is gonna be okay. Like, this is gonna be okay. Like, trusting God is, you know, the way to go. And, you know, girl. So when I called her and I'm speaking to her, I'm telling her, you know, just tell me it's gonna be okay. Like I told you, she's a prophet. So here comes God busting through. And again, this is not for, I'm not here to convince anybody about what's going on, what I'm saying is right or wrong. Listen, I'm telling my story. If you don't agree, that is fine. But I'm telling you my experience, and that is it. So here comes God busting through. He's like, you are not going to CRNA school. You are not going to CRNA school because you are not going to be a CRNA. Today is where it stops. You wanting to sell yourself short. This is what's being prophesied to me. And I'm kind of paraphrasing it. You wanting to sell yourself short. You wanting to do something that I did not create you for. I did not create you to be a CRNA. You are a doctor. Let it ring. You are a doctor. You will hear Dr. Cornelius being rang over the overhead. Dr. Cornelius. Dr. Cornelius. Dr. Cornelius. Let it ring. So I'm sitting in the car like, you are a surgeon. then it was like a back and forth, like he was asking me questions. But make a long story short, he was like, you are not a CRNA. You are not going to be a CRNA. You're going to stop selling yourself short. You are going to stop settling. I did not create you to be a CRNA. You are a doctor. And not just a doctor. You are a surgeon, a cardiac surgeon. I was stuck. So you telling me that not only do I have, because it's for CRNA it's 3 years, because it's like 2 years for a master's and then that 1 year for a doctorate. It's like 3 years to get your doctorate. So I'm like, so you telling me that I gotta go to school for another 15 years? Now this probably happened around the March time. Around March. It's now, what's today? Today is, can't see nothing. Not a doggone thing. All right now, come on now. I don't want to unlock. Today is November 10th, right? So April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it took about 8 months not about 8 months, because I applied to the I already applied to a program already, but it took me a while to get that through my body. I had to get acclimated. I had to become okay with that. And I knew that was God talking to me, because I always, in the back of my mind, wondered if I would be happy if I didn't try. Like I can get married, I can have children, I can have the most successful business, but there will always be something there will always be something in me that would have been like, why didn't you try? You should have just tried. Because that was a dream, right? Since I was younger. So I knew that was God telling me, you're not settling here. And my prayers to God has always been to enter door A. So I watched this sermon real quick. I watched this sermon a long time ago where it was like, I think it was Touré Roberts, where he was talking about how, there's always door A, B, and C, right? Well, there's many doors, but he was just saying there's door A, B, and C. And you can opt to go in door C, B, or A, B, or C. And I'm like, yo, I want door A. I want door A. I want door A in every aspect of my life. And if I have to literally hand over my life back over to you, Lord, take it. Take it. I submit my life to you. And that means in who I marry, in my business, in my walk with you, in everything. Like whatever it is that when you was in the heavens and you thought of me, like Jeremiah, I think it's Jeremiah 1, where he said, I knew you before you was in the womb. Like when you thought of me, when you created me, whatever you created me for, I want that walk. I don't want to do what Jamu wants to do. I want to do what you want, what you created me for. So when he gave me that prophecy, like you're not settling anymore. This is what you do. I did not create you for this. I did not create you to be a CRNA. You are a doctor. You're a surgeon. You're a cardiac surgeon. I said, okay. It took me a while because I've been in school. I feel like I've been in school all my life. So to tell me from, okay, I'm going to be in school for 3 to now 15 years, that's a lot. So yeah, so once I got okay with it took me a while, but I got to the point where I'm like, okay, this is what it is. And I'm happy, because I'm not settling. And it doesn't matter how old I am, because at the end of the day, we're going to get older anyway. So when we get older and I'm older and I'm like 40 and I'm 45, 50, whatever age I am, we're still going to be 40, 45, 50 anyway. So I might as well be a surgeon while I'm 40, 45, 50. Let's add surgeons to that. Why not? Hello. So yes, that's how God changed my career from, well, he's changing because I'm still in it. So basically, I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. And God gave me direction again through my close friend. Basically, she prophesied to me that I need to look into Columbia. I need to look into Columbia, research Columbia, because there is a program for you. So I researched Columbia, and lo and behold, God was right, like he always is. There's a program in Columbia, which is Columbia's post-baccalaureate pre-medical program, because all of my prerequisites are out of date. I graduated in 2009. It's 2023. Medical schools want your prerequisites probably within like 10 years, or some even 5. So basically, I need to take all my prerequisites over. So Columbia has a program where you try to get acceptance into the program, and you work with them to take the classes, like basically undergrad all over again. But they have help. It's tailored to help the student who is trying to get into a med school or trying to get into a PhD program, whatever you're trying to pursue. So I applied to that. I was also prophesied that the first time I apply, I won't get in. The second time I will get in. So I applied already. I didn't get in the first time already. So I applied the second time. The deadline was November 1st. I already said today is November 10th, 2023. The deadline was November 1st. So I am waiting for my acceptance. So yeah, once I get that, hopefully I'll start in January. I don't know when their classes start, but I'm sure it'll be January. So yes, that is how God is changing my career from RN to doctor, surgeon, cardiac surgeon. So yeah, I'm just waiting to see when I get in, because I can't say if I'm going to get in, because I gotta trust in what the Lord said. He said you're getting in the second time. I already applied the first time, I didn't get in. This is the second time I applied. So I'm waiting. So I have not heard back from them yet. So I am waiting. I can't remember when I applied. So I'm actually trying to log in to see the exact date when I actually put in the exact date of when I actually put in my application. So I'm like logging onto the application to see the date, so I can give you guys the date of when I put it, because I put it in way before the deadline. I put it in. So let's just see. Let's see. So I submitted it. October 5th, and the deadline was November 1st. So I'm waiting. Yep. Yeah. So I will keep you updated with that. If you like these videos and you like my vlogs, please like, comment, and subscribe, and push the like button, please. And yeah, come along for the journey. Join the Sweet Gang. All right, later.